Hey guys, welcome to another video. Okay, so today I'll be talking about why the big three were the big three, and if you don't know what I mean by the big three, they were the three biggest animes during the 2000s era, which earned them the name the big three. The big three included One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. Okay, so all three of these were shown in anime, which is to be expected, and they were all about children who weren't accepted, who were different. In Luffy's case, that wasn't as prevalent because there were a lot of kids who wanted to be pirates as he was growing up. But he was also different because if you think about it, he was one of the very few people who had a devil fruit, especially since he was in the East Blue, which is the weakest of the blues, as we all know. And for Ichigo, that was obvious because, he was born with Zoro superpowers, he could see ghosts and whatnot. And for Naruto, he was born with the well, he wasn't born with the nine-tailed fox, but, the nine-tailed fox was infused into him as a baby. So everyone hated him because of that. So everyone had their own reasons in the big three why they were different. And that's what made them relatable. It made it relatable to everyone, from the people who went to school and were popular because they liked watching the adventure, to the people who weren't cool, I suppose, and didn't have a lot of friends because they kind of related to it on some level. And that's just one of the things. Of course, there were also, there were amazing fight scenes in all three of them. We can't, okay, Bleach died out really quickly. Well, it didn't die. Well, the anime did. You know what I mean? But it still had amazing fight scenes. You can't deny what was it, Ichigo versus the Menos Grande, for the first time when he released all of his spiritual pressure. Ichigo versus Byakuya in order to save Rukia. Ichigo versus Renji, first time and second time, both amazing fights. And then we find out what happened with Aizen, and then there are so many fights in all of them that I can't even name them off the top of my head. Same thing with Naruto. It was I'm sure you guys know the first episode of Naruto, that was Naruto versus what was that instructor's name? Crap baskets. Wait, I got it. One sec. Yes, his name was Misuki. I totally did not look that up. Whatever. Shut up. God, no one's talking to you. Okay, so that was such an amazing fight because Mizuki was talking down to Naruto the entire time, and he was talking about how no one's ever gonna accept him, how everyone knew that he had the nine-tailed fox inside of him, and that's why everyone hates him. How no one will ever love him because a beast can't be the same as a human. And then you have that really emotional scene where Iruka says, what was it? I think he said, oh crap, yeah, he said, he's not a beast. He's my student and I accept him. Sure, he messes up sometimes, but he's a good kid. He tries hard. And that's what made Naruto cry. And as Mizuki went to kill Iruka, Naruto stopped him and created I think it was the 1,000 shadow clones. Yes, I think it was the 1,000, right? And that's what made, and then with One Piece. Okay, if you wanted me to pick a fight with One Piece too, there'll be something okay, this isn't a fight per se, but this is just such an amazing scene. Well, I guess it is a fight. When Luffy first picks up Zoro, and he was at the execution stand, and Helmeppo was going to execute him. Yes, that's such a weird sentence to say now, but Helmeppo had tied Zoro to that post for 30 days, and Zoro was 11 or 12 days in, 7 days, something like that, and he was starving, and Luffy went to save him, and then he asked him, he's like, so do you want to be on my crew? And he's like, what? No. And then Luffy's like, I reject your rejection, bitch. it was really, really funny. So the thing is, all of them have a very, very good sense of their fighting. They all have a good sense of the humor. They all have a good sense of what do you call it? Emotional scenes. They all have a good sense of romance, in a sense. That's not something they focus on at all, but there's always that one person. For Naruto, that was Hinata. He didn't but the thing is, since it's a shonen anime, they can't have the guy acknowledge that the girl likes him, and he has to be completely oblivious to it the entire time. Naruto was oblivious, Hinata liked him, Ichigo was oblivious, Orihime liked him, and then I don't think Luffy's oblivious that Hancock likes him, and Hancock came in a lot later than Orihime did, or um, Hinata did. Sorry, I keep losing my track. And sure, she came late, but I don't know. Do you think Luffy? Yeah, I'm sure Luffy knows. Like, she doesn't exactly try to hide it, but I don't know. That's kind of iffy. So they all and like as it stands, those don't provide much of a romance. They provide much more of a ideal future where you assume that everything's going to work out, and you assume that Luffy's going to be with Hancock. Okay, you might want her to be with like someone else. Some people say Nami, and I don't see that happening because Nami and Luffy have a much more of like a brother sister type relationship. So I think I'd like it if they stuck with that, and didn't force that into a romantic relationship eventually. But hey, you know what, I don't know, Oda has his thing, and I trust him. Okay, and then like and then you really hope eventually everything works out, and like during the war, Hinata was about to be killed, but Neji went and he saved Hinata, and like that's what kind of pushed Hinata and Naruto even closer together, and that's what forced them to get together in the end. And then with Orihime and Ichigo, yes, Ichigo, that it was kind of like developing throughout the entire time. Yeah, like at the very end of Bleach, if you guys did read the manga at the very end, it was very very rushed, and so you kind of didn't see a lot of it, but but it was just at the end there was like a time skip like to the very end, and then you just see an adult Ichigo with an adult Orihime and their kid. Ta-da. Right? So there's always like this ideal future, and it always like forces you to think ahead. Like there'll be like a clue that you wouldn't even notice until so long later. Like there was an interview where someone asked Oda, like this was a long long time back, when they asked him, are you ever gonna draw Luffy's father, I think he said. And Oda was like, what? I already drew his father, because at the time we didn't know that Dragon was Luffy's father. And Luffy, and like Dragon had been drawn because he was the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and the Revolutionary Army had been introduced quite a while back. So he'd been, but we never knew. So, they also do quite a bit of foreshadowing, and they do a lot of build up, but in such a subtle way that you'll be looking forward to, and you can't stop reading. Like, imagine if you're that person that asked Oda that question, all right? You asked him, are you ever going to draw his father? And then he says, I've already drawn him. Like, that would be so crazy. You'd have to, like, you'd, like, read back, and then be like, and when you didn't find out who it was, you'd go, and then you'd have to keep on reading. Like, you'd have to, like, you just can't let go. So it was those things. It's the same thing with, like, not with One Piece. Like, One Piece is still going. It's at what, 881 episodes right now as it stands, and that's incredible. 800 episodes. Who the hell has the time to watch that? But guess what? I've watched them. Okay, not all of them. I skipped the fillers because I have. Okay, so but yeah, should I go back and watch the fillers? Let me know if you guys are somehow still watching. It's 8 minutes in, and I don't expect anyone to still be watching, because 8 minutes in, most people you have the attention span of a goldfish on YouTube. So you are a marvel if you're still listening to this. Sorry, rambling. Okay, so there was also another reason. It was, one sec. Let me just. And of course, there was also the what do you call it? There was also the intense villains that showed up, and like they were such compelling villains, all of them. Like okay, in the first part of Bleach, where you thought Byakuya was the villain, and he was a very enticing villain. Like, he was so cool and calm and collected. Like, he was killing his own sister, but like he seemed so calm, you could never tell that they were even related or that he even cared. But then you find out at the end that he actually cares, and that it was actually killing him, and he did it because he made a vow to his parents, and blah blah blah. And then like Aizen was so amazing. Yeah, like Aizen was so cool, calm, collected, and he thought of literally everything. Like Ichigo's entire life, from his conception to him being a part hollow, part Quincy, part Shinigami, part human, part, I don't know if there's anything left, and he was sure as hell that too. And so, like, all of that was in his plan. Like, his very existence was because Aizen wanted him to be. Like, that's so crazy. And then there was, okay, I'm just gonna pick a random villain from Naruto. Let's go with Madara, because, main villain. Madara was incredible because he'd been built up for so many episodes. I was talking about this in my last video, and Madara was literally built up for hundreds of episodes. Like, he was first mentioned in during the Naruto and Sasuke fight in the final valley on top of the statues, and we find out that Madara was so strong. He and Hashirama were the people that created the village, but eventually he left the village. And I'm just going by what we knew at the time. Sure, we know not a lot more now, and the reason why he left and this that, but and he seemed so crazy. And then he showed up, and his first moment, he gets they bring back, and then they bring him back using the resurrection jutsu. I can't remember, reanimation jutsu, right? And what does he do? He literally fights like 5,000 people. 5 seconds after he's resurrected, gets out without a scratch. Fights Naruto's clone, beats that too. No, wait, crap. I don't think that was the clone. I think that was the real Naruto. Yeah, I think that's the real Naruto there. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. It was actually so crazy. Like, he literally fought all of them, and he was like, pfft. And there was that one scene where he does the fire style, I don't know, flame something jutsu. I can't remember. And it was so massive. It took like a wall of like 50 water style users to just try and balance him out. And like, water obviously has a natural like power against fire. Yes, I know that's not the right way to put it, but my mind has stopped working. I'm like 12 minutes. Oh my god, I've been talking for 12 minutes straight. Jesus. So, and then okay, for One Piece, there's so many villains in One Piece, and like okay, I'm gonna choose Blackbeard, even though we haven't like had his final fight yet. But you know what? I'm gonna choose Blackbeard anyway because I love that man. Okay, not love him, but I hate him, but I also love him. I don't know. You know what I mean? Okay, like he's such a compelling villain. Like, we met him during like just before the Sky Island arc. Like, we met him with when we met Bellamy. I can't remember what island that was. Sorry, just okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to search that up. Okay. So, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So, we see him there, and and at the time, him and Luffy don't take a liking to each other, but he says something that really, like, Bellamy said, "Oh, your dreams are fake. Your dreams are never going to come true. You're never going to find One Piece. The Sky Island doesn't exist. You're never going to become king of the pirates. You're never going to blah, blah, blah." And the era where pirates' dreams come true are over. And Blackbeard was sitting outside, and he just started laughing, and he went, "Ha, the era where people's dreams are over, people's dreams will never stop." Okay, yes, that is my awful laugh like him. And that was so good. And then we see, and then he finds out that Luffy has a bounty of 100 million. Him and his crew try to hunt down Luffy, but they get away because they go to Sky Island. And and like, you could tell he was strong because he went to take on Luffy. He knew he had 100 million bounty. He knew he had Zoro on his crew, and he still went there as if it was nothing. And yeah, if he fought him right then and there, he would have killed him because he had the dark um fucking hell. He had the dark fruit. What's that called in Japanese? Yes, his devil fruit. I totally did not search that up. Whatever. His devil fruit is the Yami Yami no Mi, the darkness fruit, and like that. I'm sure you guys know, but like as soon as he touches them, they're like, if someone has a devil fruit power, it just takes them away. Like, they can't use it anymore. And like, think about it. He defeated Ace, and like, this was around the time when Ace was first shown, like during the Alabasta arc, and he was shown to be so strong. He did one. He was like fire fist, and like, he did it super casually, and he like broke through like 5 warships. It was insane. Like, this guy was way out of Luffy's league. Like, if they actually fought, he would have like taken a massive dump on Luffy and his entire crew, and he would have gotten out of there without a scratch. Partially because he did have a Logia type, and no one at the time in the Straw Hats knew how to use armament hockey. So there's that too. And he went and he just defeated Ace as if it was nothing. And then we were like, damn, he became a warlord, but he's such an evil guy. And then he goes, and then he freaking breaks everyone out of Impel Down. He just takes like everyone that his literal thing was, oh, anyone that wants to get out, he went to like the level 6 of Impel Down, and he went, anyone that wants to get out can come with me, but with the sole exception that you have to beat up everyone in your cell. And like anyone that, and then everyone that did, he literally took them all. Hell, he took the warden too. No, it wasn't the warden. I don't know. Was it the ex-warden? I can't remember. There was something. There was something like an Impel Down like soldiers. I don't know. There was something. And then he shows up at the freaking Battle of the Best in Marineford, and he goes and he steals the Gura Gura no Mi. Like, that's so insane. He steals Whitebeard's fruit, which was stated by fucking hell, what was it? Oh my god, why am I losing my shit recently? By the Grand Fleet fuck by the Fleet Admiral, yes, and by the Fleet Admiral Sengoku at the time, and he literally stated that man has the devil fruit which has the power to destroy the world. Like, that's insane. And he goes, takes that, so now he has something that can destroy the fucking world, and then he has something that can just take away someone's devil fruit power while he's fighting them. And plus, he somehow has a second devil fruit, which we were told was fucking impossible because your body will blow up. But then Oda was like, "No, I'm just gonna give him a cool little exception. Yeah, he can do that because his body is special." Like, what the fuck is that, Oda? But that's what we have to put up with. So, like, they're all such good villains, and there are so many more reasons that I could get into, but this video is already like 17 minutes long, and to edit all of this, and the audio, and the video, and this, that, and everything else, and, maybe put in a few jokes. By the way, I'm sure you guys can tell, but humor is not my thing, alright? I can't do that. I can't do humor. So, and I guess I'm not that good with information. If you're watching me, why are you guys watching me? My god, I just realized. I'm a failure. Not the point. Okay, I'm getting real depressed. I gotta finish this. Like, subscribe, comment. If you didn't like something, also comment. If you like something, also comment. Like, dislike. I don't know. Don't dislike. That's a mean move. Don't hurt my feelings. Bye, guys.